or accusing each other. It was him. He did it. Very sensitive people going, whoa. And the Stations of the Cross, you know, after years and years and years of seeing all this, all those images are emblazoned on your mind. You're never going to forget those, you know, Jesus on his way, buying the nails, and stopping for a shave, and, you know, some just things, paying bills before he goes and everything. You're never going to forget it. They say that Jesus speaks to you. He did speak to me as a child, and all he ever said was, ow! Stop it! Carrying the vinegar and everything. Go away! It's prejudiced, of course, speaking, you know, but I'm a very prejudiced person. Prejudice, people worry about it nowadays. I don't. I think you need it. It reminds you who you are. You know, I have prejudices about gay people. I think if somebody says to me, I've got gay friends and all that, but if somebody says to me, oh, I went out to dinner, everybody else was gay, I think, yeah, big deal. But I will also immediately get loads of images in my mind of loads of tall guys with floppy fringes carving thin slices of swan, bursting into tears because the pudding looks so beautiful. I can't help that, and I don't care. But I mean, I didn't even know about gay people for a long time when I was growing up, you know? Much older than I should have been, because it was euphemisms. It was one of those houses, you know, I used to think I was growing up in a musical family. Because people would make noises instead of talking about something. Well, you know, you heard about Mary and John and the Ding Dong. Apparently it's all still a bit, oh. And sometimes they would employ a phrase, if, you know, for something specific, if you can imagine the idea of somebody being gay, they would have a phrase, but it would always be pretty unhelpful, something you'd never heard of before, you know. You say, well, you know what they say about John anyway. Well, no, I don't. What do they say? Well, apparently, you know, he's Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, what are you talking about? I don't, what? Well, you know, if I have to spell it out, apparently he's, you know, still picking up twigs in the springtime. Oh, yes. One of Yulbrenner's hairdressers. Likes his toast done on 3 sides, yes. What are you talking about? Because all that language can be amazingly confusing. Again, in the military, they use them all the time. All the regiments have their own mottos, you know. The most famous one being the SAS, death before dishonor. Death before dishonor. I always used to wonder, hey, exactly how much dishonor are we talking about here? Because I can handle quite a lot. You know? I would, for instance, fillet a Smurf. Before I'd pick death. And cook him a little Smurf omelette as I was doing it, you know? I'd be very happy to do that. Season it with thyme and everything. I wouldn't mind listening to his happy, satisfied Smurf lip smacks. But every man thinks about Smurfs. They don't say it, but they do, you know. That's why I'm here, to be honest. Just once, you know. What would it be like? Nobody needs to know you go away for the weekend. Just once, to have the blue, salty bulb lolling on your tongue. If I don't say it, nobody else will. And Jesus must have been very annoying as a person, I always thought. You know, to be around, always talking in parables. Even when you're in a hurry, you know? Jesus, do you want a quick one? They're just about to shut the bar. Quick half. Quick, a bottle, something, quick. There was a fox cooking eggs. On a speedboat. So he died. Oh, not again, just once, please. Tell me something. Now, anyway, all that aside, I don't, you know, pay very much attention to it anymore. People. I mean, that's, you know, the reason you are prejudiced, the reason anybody is prejudiced is because, you know, other people don't agree with you all the time. And that's where the fault lies. Because then you get into arguments, and I don't like arguments. Men don't like arguments at all. That's why there are more men in the army anyway. Because women might have an argument and they might be louder, there might be more crying, there might be more of a scene, but they will work through whatever needs to be worked through. Whereas men avoid confrontation. They go, I can't, he's going to come in, it'll be all... You know, and it's amazing in America and so on, when you see the footage of, you know, the snipers, the people who go nuts and start shooting people, they go, he's got a gun and he's shooting people, it's amazing, it's incredible, it's awful, it's terrible, how did this happen? Well, you all have guns. And they do have a limited range of household applications. Unlike, say, Californian wine, which you can use to clean submarines. But, so I'm not good at violence. You know, I think politically, if anything, I'm probably liberal, because I'm frightened of everybody. You know, I was in a bar in London a couple of years ago. It was the summer, it was incredibly hot, like tonight. And I was sitting outside, and this woman came out. It was an attractive woman. She came out and she was attractive in the way that other women would have said of her, well, she's attractive in an obvious way. Interestingly, a lot of the women who say that about other women tend to have hidden their own attraction so well that you do feel like throwing them a bread roll. But anyway, this young, vital person came out, and I found myself looking at her. I was looking, thinking, you're lovely, you're a really lovely looking human being, you're lovely. Then I thought, don't stare, that's rude. But I couldn't help it, I looked back. And as I did, her boyfriend walked out, who happened to be very, very tall, black, and extraordinarily handsome. An amazing looking man. Wonderful, rangy stride and chiseled features, sort of sea green eyes and a 1,000-yard stare. An extraordinary person, you know. I couldn't take my eyes off him. I'd completely forgotten about her. And then I became aware again. I thought, Christ, don't stare, it's rude. He'll think you're staring because they're a mixed race couple or something. No, don't. I looked away. I looked at the other side of the street. And as I did, this is all true, a skinhead was walking towards me. Now, a proper one as well. One of the old school skinheads, you know, who you don't see anymore, like hunchbacks. Where did all those people go? I think there's an island somewhere, but... He's one of the real ones, you know, the people who make all their major decisions with their neck. Tattoos on his teeth. And I thought, fuck, he's gonna hit me just for being alive. I can't look there, I can't look anywhere. And I thought, oh no, he'll walk by and he'll say something dreadful to these people. And I hate these situations, it's gonna be awful. Oh no. He did catch up. They all started chatting, they were friends, they knew each other, and I overheard one of them say, I hope that drunk doesn't go mental. So, there's a lot of fear around. And I had my own thing with some skinheads years ago. You know, I was, again, in London, and these three guys, they go around in groups, you know, because they have a lot of highly classified information to convey to one another. And one of them bumped into me, very deliberately, shouldered me, and now I'm a rational person. Usually, you know, in that situation, I would think, like you, I'll go home, have a cup of tea, and think about what I would have done to this person had they been tied up. But I was too tired and pissed off. I just stood there and looked at them. And they came back. And we had a chat. The main thing they wanted to know was how I proposed to continue breathing for the next couple of minutes. And then I did a very male sort of reckoning, you know, I did the calculation. I thought, right, there's 3 of you, and there's 1 of me. I'm rubbish at maths, by the way. But in